First up, Noran Gohar taking on last year's finalist, Laura Massaro from England. So there you have Noran Gohar. She's currently ranked 5 in the world. That is her highest ranking to date, just 18 years old. Moved into the top 10 at the beginning of last season on the back of 2 finals in China and Macau, taking out a number of higher seeds there. And then she backed up very well throughout the rest of the season, especially second half, semi-finalist at the TOC and the World Championships, and then a runner-up at the British Open 2016. So coming here in very good nick after being crowned World Junior Champion for the 2nd time running. She's had a relatively easy time of it in the early rounds, 3 loves against Olivia Blatchford in the first round, and then a really good performance to take out England's Alison Waters in 3 in the last 16. She's up against England #1, Laura Massaro, currently ranked 2 in the world. Got to world #1 last year in January of this year, and held on to that for 4 months before losing it to the current world #1, Nourel Shabini. Been in great form. Started last season with wins in Macau and the US Open and Qatar, and ended the season on a high with a final at the World Champs where she just lost to Shabini, and then went on to win the World Series finals in Dubai. Finalist here last year, lost to Nicole David in that final. She's had a very tough route through to this quarterfinal. She's been on court 99 minutes already. Very difficult first round against Hania El Hamami. Managed to win that in 5, and then tough 4 games against Emily Whitlock in the last 16. So joining me in commentary once again for these next 2 quarterfinals, former world #2 Jenny Duncalf. Evening, Jenny.
Evening, Vanessa.
Well, these two have played each other twice already this year. First time was at the Tournament of Champions, which was a very close match. Noran Gohar, I think that might have been her first win against Massaro.
Yeah, it was. They'd had some close matches leading up to that one, and then but Laura always managing to fend her off eventually, but then she got her first win, at Tournament Champions. So I'm sure Massaro will be wanting her revenge from that and looking to assert herself from the start of this match.
She certainly will. Well, she did get 1 match back. It was a pool match at the World Series final, so just a best of 3, but Massaro won that 2-love, so a little bit of revenge there.
Yeah, it should be a good match, this. It's a good matchup. Noran Gohar, the young, exciting prospect on the PSA World Tour. Watched her play her last round, actually coached Alison Waters in between games. Obviously didn't do a very good job, but she lost 3-love. But she looked in fine form, extremely determined, as she always is. But that's another quality that Massaro has as well. So, yeah, really looking forward to this one. I reckon it could be pretty tasty.
Cathay Pacific Sun Hung Kai Financial Hong Kong Open 2016 women's quarter-final match. Noran Gohar of Egypt to serve, Laura Massaro of England to receive. Best of 5 games.
Players just having a few more hits of the ball before we get started.
Noran colour coordinated with the prints on the court.
So Gohar starts off this first game. There's quite a good contrast between these two in terms of their playing style. You kind of always know what you're going to get with Noran Gohar. Hits the ball very hard, very severe lines. But always gets good angles and really looks to bury her opponents in the back and then take the ball in short when she opens up the opportunity. Massaro, maybe a little bit more methodical, but quite a thoughtful game.
Yeah, you're right. That's why it's going to be interesting. Noran, as you say, you know exactly what you're going to get. She's just so good at employing that game plan and the ferociousness of her striking of the ball. It really is something to admire for such a young player as well. So she's got a good start here.
Yeah, it must always take a little bit of time to adjust when you step on court with Gohar, because there's not many people, not many players on the women's tour that play with that sort of relentless ferocity.
Yeah, it's funny. I spoke to Alison Waters after her match yesterday, or even after the first game, to be honest. She was almost a little surprised at the pace of the ball coming back at her. And I remember the same playing her in Chicago. I'd seen her play, so I was aware that she hits the ball so well. But when you're actually on there, you feel like you're almost on the back foot straight away.
Well, especially
because you're just surviving almost.
Coming from Alison, that's quite telling, because she likes to thump the ball a bit
Yeah,
herself.
It was quite bizarre watching her get out-hit by someone else. But Massaro will be well aware of all this, of course, and you're right, she does have a bit more to her game. There's slightly more varied squash from Massaro.
Well, the game plan surely will be to try and break that rhythm of Gohar, not let her get into too much of a rhythm with that hitting.
Yeah,
change of pace.
You have to try and hold her movement a bit. She's actually not the quickest going forward, but it's a case of stopping the momentum of her movement and trying to hold the ball a bit. She's done that well.
Right box, 3-all.
Don't think Gohar was totally convinced about the pickup, but it was pretty obvious from here that it was 2 bounces.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, let. 3-all. Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 3-all.
Well, it's already looking a lot more structured, the squash here, than the previous quarter-final between Shabini and... Wow! She loves that shot, and she is so good at it. I would love it too if I could play it like that. Just as I was talking about structure, she slams it in for a cross-court nick.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, let. 4-3.
Yeah, good competitive early rallies in this first game.
Look to try and volley that, Massaro, if she can.
Not up. You're appealing. Appeal on the Miss Massaro's pickup.
I'm pretty sure that was another double bounce.
Ball was not up. Hand out, 4-all.
Yeah, but it's a shame there's that little part of Gohar's game for such a good player. She's not the best at noticing her double bounces.
Well, she actually looks quite convinced.
I know,
that
it's
they
bizarre.
are.
Hand out, 5-4.
Got to be careful on that backhand middle. She strikes it so well on a backhand. So attacking.
6-4.
Just absolutely flattening that ball. There's no bounce. No time to respond.
It's better by Massaro. Well played.
Yeah, set up with better depth, as you said, just getting that ball behind the service box.
Hand out.
I think that's got to be Massaro's
5-6.
bread and butter game plan, is pummeling that back forehand corner for Gohar and then forcing the boast and then attacking it at the front, which she did perfectly in that last rally.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 5-6. Ladies, I'm going to have to ask you both to make sure you clear the ball after you've played it, please. 5-6.
She sweats a fair bit, Gohar, already, first half of this game.
I think I would too if I played at that kind of pace. Referee just intervening early, making
6-all.
sure things don't get out of hand here. There's been quite a few decisions already.
No let up in this hitting.
It's just an absolute battle to get on that tee, isn't it? And try and get in front.
Yeah. Wow.
Again, that ball just falling short from Massaro, and there's the punishment.
Court
So
service,
severe.
please.
Absolutely lethal here. Bang. See you later. What do you
Thank
think
you.
of the court with the side doors as opposed to the one on the back wall?
Well, I think I'd be walking straight into the back wall every time after the game.
I think I have done that
Hand
before.
out.
In fact, I think
7-6.
your partner just almost did in his match in his introduction. It is quite confusing. You do have to be patient against Gohar because you don't get that many chances to attack. She doesn't go short that often, as you can see in this rally. So she starves you a little bit of the front of the court.
Yeah, she prefers that low hard kill, doesn't she, than actually taking the drop in from mid-court. She'll take in the drop on the counter. And again, Massaro throwing in that slightly higher ball, forcing the boast, and then a winner on the drop shot. We've seen
Hand
that
out.
combination a couple of times
7-all.
now.
Yeah, she did well there. She withstood the storm of the heavy hitting and then waited for a chance and just took her time and finished it off.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 7-all.
Played. You can see the reaction from both of the players. A
out.
couple of fist pumps
8,
already in this
7.
first game. You know how important it is. Nothing like getting the first game under your belt.
Down.
Oh, it was there to play.
You're right, it was there for the taking.
She
9,
created the
7.
opening.
Just
We
snatched
can't
a
do
little
all
bit
the
at
time,
it.
all right? Yeah, it's okay at the moment. Keep playing, please. Yeah. Keep playing, please. There's not enough just yet.
Well, Massaro feeling that the court needs to be
9-7.
wiped. It's quite unusual for the referee to actually refuse
Yeah,
that
I mean,
request.
we can see how much Gohar sweats. There's visibly sweat drops on the floor, so for the referee to say, no, you need to play on,
And out.
slightly harsh.
8-9.
Oh,
Again, just angles that ball into the nick rather than
And
going
out.
down the line this time.
10-8. Game
No
ball.
time for Massaro to respond.
yeah, as soon as it's loose around that middle, you just know exactly what she's going to do. Just gobbles it up. Great shot.
11-8.
So
Game
Noran
to
Gohar taking that
Gohar
first
leads
game.
1 game to love.
So very competitive first game there. Noran Gohar taking it 11-8. She leads 1 game to love. So Noran Gohar taking that opening game against Laura Massaro here at the Hong Kong Open.
Well, it was a ferocious start from the little firecracker from Egypt. The amount of pace she puts on her hitting really is spectacular, and at the moment, Massaro just struggling a little bit to deal with it. She's really got to start to stretch the court out against this youngster, try and expose her movement a little bit, but it's extremely hard when the ball's coming back at you at such a pace. Really good start to the game, some good quality stuff. We're really looking forward to seeing how this pans out now. But it's 1-love to the Egyptian. What do you reckon we'll see in the second game? What do you think Laura will do?
I didn't think Massaro did too badly, really, in that first game. Just maybe giving away the middle of the court a few too many times. Just needed that extra little bit of height on the front wall, a bit of depth.
Yeah, I agree. She didn't
Gohar
play
leads
badly at all.
1
Just
game
left,
to
yeah,
love.
like you say, a few too many loose ones around the middle.
Love all.
It's a case of trying to impose your game on Gohar before she imposes her, because once...
Are you asking for it, Ms. Massaro? Decision, Massaro. Yes, lads. Love all. And Miss Gohar, please watch where your feet are. It would be dangerous.
Massaro having a little word there.
I'd like to see a replay, but Little wry smile from
Level.
Massaro. I don't think she's too chuffed with whatever happened there.
Well, she obviously felt like Gohar made a little movement just as she was trying to go through.
She was stood on the tee, though, so who knows? We shall see. It's a nice shot.
But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's a case of a big
Hand out.
change of game plan. I think that the plan was right. It's just obviously you have to execute it very well against Gohar because she is,
Down.
as soon as that ball drops even slightly short
Too
around
low.
service box, the punishment is ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you let her get in front of you and hit the ball as she does, it's almost you're just surviving,
Down.
getting your racket on the end of it, as opposed to actually being able to do anything with the
3
ball.
love.
Yeah, I think in those instances maybe you just need to use the lift, but
Decision.
obviously you have
Massaro.
to be able to inject pace yourself as well when you get on the
Stroke
ball.
to Massaro, 4 love.
Really good start here though from Massaro.
Well, I think since that little disruption in the middle of the court and a few words from Massaro, Gohar's gone to pot a little bit. Massaro's got into her
5
head.
love.
And it probably gave Massaro a little bit of oomph to gee herself up a bit and get into this match. See there, Noran's mum.
Hand out. 1-5.
Trying to do some coaching with her hands.
Decision. Massaro. Stroke to Massaro.
Ball just popping
Hand
out of the
out.
nick.
The Egyptians
6-1.
are always very supportive of each other, always coming down to support and coach in between games when they can. Her mum is definitely a bit of a edgy watcher.
Yeah, I remember.
Definitely a few side kicks going on and flinches when her daughter's playing.
I remember noticing that at the British Open actually.
I mean, I can understand a British
And
Open
out, 2-6.
final, obviously, but even yesterday she was looking in pretty fine form at 2-love and 5-3 up, and her mum was still flinching away on the front row.
Down. 3-6.
Blimey, now that is a bright top. In case you missed that, that was not a traffic cone, it was in fact David Pearson, Laura's coach. Turn the brightness down on your screens perhaps for the next time we see that.
Decision.
Shot.
Massaro. No let.
She's led her back in a little bit here.
4-6.
She had the 5-1 lead.
Probably straight lift there from Gohar, setting up the opportunity for that backhand kill.
Yep, slamming it into the nick.
Massaro, she's just being forced to be quite reactive here. Not really
5,
able to get
6.
onto the ball, just on her back foot a little bit. Needs to find a
Bang.
way of getting that ball right into the back corner and re-establishing herself on the tee.
Down. Hand out. 7-5. Decision,
A
Massaro.
bit loose.
Yes, let. 7-5.
Well, I think the
room.
let's
Played
given
it,
because that
Massaro.
ball did
Would you
stay
agree to play
very
that ball,
short,
please?
which is difficult to see from behind the court. Because she drew the
7-5.
ball in towards herself.
There's a little bit of room, perhaps. She did jag it back to herself.
Decision, Gohar.
That will be a stroke, I think.
Stroke to Gohar. Hand out.
She couldn't have hit that
6-7.
ball without Massaro in her swing. Important part of the match here. I find it quite interesting, Gohar. She is kind of an exception to the Egyptian norm, really. Her style of play is not particularly the Egyptian way. It's almost like a Kiwi player,
Completely.
a traditional New Zealand player.
Decision, Massaro. Stroke to Massaro. Let's go. You must come off the ball quicker. You go straight into the line. Court service, please, when we have the full white. Court service, please. Quickly.
So they're finally getting the floor wiped. You can see the sweat droplets around the tee there. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it, to see a young Egyptian playing in this style.
Well, it's just interesting to think how that develops, because you do tend to see countries developing players with similar styles, and whether that's down to the coaching or just the fact that they all play together, and that kind of emerges. And you certainly see that with the Egyptians. They're all very sort of flary players, love to take the ball in short and use lots of variations.
8-6.
Gohar, the quality's very high, but it is quite one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously realised at a young age she's extremely good at playing this way, and she's worked on it, and this is the result. All the Egyptians can hit the ball really hard. They just don't tend to as much as Noran does. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
There's no coming back from that. Mum enjoyed that one.
Hand out, 7-8.
Massaro actually just laughed after that shot.
Yeah, she's
not much you can do.
She's quite Shabaghi-esque in her hitting, is Noran Gohar. There's definitely a few bullets in there that you don't even see sometimes.
Yeah, there's a few girls on the tour that can hit the ball very, very hard. Joelle King, one of them. Alison Waters, probably. But I don't think anyone is quite as relentless with their hitting as Gohar.
No, I agree.
Must cost a lot of energy, just the sheer force going into the racket every time.
It's a tough rally.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let.
Ooh. What do you think there, Ness?
No, I thought it was a let, actually. I
Did
thought
you?
the ball was just a little bit high.
7.
By the time Massaro could have actually played it, Gohar would have maybe just been clear enough.
Yeah, well, they're at least being consistent, these referees. That's 2 lets where they feel there was space to play the ball, which is good to see. That's going to be a stroke.
It's almost identical to one few rallies previously. Stroke was awarded to Massaro, so she certainly can't complain about that one.
You can see the Wadi Degla badge on Gohar's kit. One of the big clubs in Egypt. A lot of the players train there.
Hosting the Men's World Championships in a couple of months' time.
Yeah, and also a $50,000 women's tournament.
Out.
You can see Danny mouthing the word forehand, I think, to his wife on court. There's Vicky, the England physio.
Right box, please. 9-8.
Well, dangerous times here for Massaro. Does not want to go too love down. Big point.
Decision, Gohar. Stroke to Gohar. 10-8, game ball.
So 2 game balls for Nouran Gohar to go 2 love up.
Oof. Well, Laura did well there. She took her space on the backhand drop and made it difficult for Gohar.
9-10, game ball. Decision, Massaro.
Big call.
No it. No, Miss
Yeah,
Massaro.
I think
Miss
that's the
Massaro,
right decision.
please, you
I
two
think she
boys
was
go
trying
into
to
it.
get there, but just realised she couldn't make it and
that's a
went for
no-way.
Gohar.
Yeah,
in the
she was a
last
bit late
gap.
on the ball there.
Desperation.
11-9, game to Gohar. Gohar leads 2 games to love.
So Gohar taking that second game. Another very tight game. Taking it 11-9. So the Egyptian, Nouran Gohar, leading against Laura Massaro, 2 games to love. So the young Nouran Gohar has a 2 love lead here against England's Laura Massaro.
Yeah, things are really hotting up here. We could have an upset on the cards, but there's still a long way to go. It's pretty tight out there and a lot of tension towards the end of that last game. They knew it was an important one to win, but she's just so hard to fight off, Nouran Gohar. I mean, she's so competitive, gets stuck in and really puts some weight behind the hitting of the ball is just thunderous at times. And Massaro's still in this. She can still come back, but that was a very important game. So plenty to play for. And at the moment, it's the youngster who wants to create another upset in this year's Hong Kong Squash Open.
Well, it's a big ask now for Massaro, but if anyone can do it, it is the England #1. She's a very, very tenacious and determined athlete.
Yeah, I think if she'd have snuck that last one, I may have predicted she'd win. Not that we've been predicting at all.
It's a big difference, isn't it? Coming back from 2 love down, even though both games were very tight, it means that you can't have a single lapse.
Yeah, I mean, she actually had a 5-1 lead in that game. Nouran, after their little come together at the start of the game, got a little bit rattled, but she did ever so well to get it back. She regrouped and got her composure back.
2 games to love. Level.
So Gohar starts us off in this third game. And she's very good at keeping her composure, isn't she, Massaro, when things aren't necessarily going her way. She has a lot of faith in her ability, and will just stick to her game plan because, as we've mentioned, she hasn't really done anything too wrong.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's little by little, isn't it? She won't be thinking about the result too much right now. It's just a process of getting the points on the board, and she does that by employing a game plan, believing in herself and taking her time and trying to edge her way back bit by bit. There's no reason why she can't win this match still.
But Gohar, so impressive. She's incredibly consistent considering how young she is. So that's another feature that you tend to see, particularly from the younger Egyptians, is that they can be outrageous, but they can also be very up and down. And
Yeah.
Gohar, you know, probably because of the style she's chosen to play at, is unbelievably consistent already.
I mean, her maturity levels are ridiculous, really. We talk about Shabini, who's 20, so still young, and she's another one, extremely mature, but I feel like Gohar even takes it to a whole new level.
Well, Shabini's sort of found consistency over the last year, hasn't she?
Gohar. Yes, late.
Said it before, but
Left box.
the most striking feature of Gohar's game for me is her mental attitude and application, especially for me, who's someone who's always struggled to focus, even now as a 33-year-old. And she, you know, a couple of years ago, just looking at her around the tournaments, her attention to detail in her warm-ups, for practice and her matches, it's very good and very professional.
Hand out.
And very scary for everyone else.
1-all.
She's just kind of got that look in her eye that, you know, she's here for business, and she knows what she wants to do in the world of squash, and she's definitely going about it the right way at the moment.
Hand out, 2-1.
Yeah, every player sort of has their natural strengths and weaknesses, and
Shots. That's better from Massaro. Sorry, Vanessa.
it's all right. A lot of us have to work on the mental side of things, and it's obviously just an innate strength that she has, that ability to focus.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's quite different to the other Egyptian girls who are all, well, generally very naturally talented, but their focus can tend to drift every now and again.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, late. 2-all.
Oh.
Down.
Slightly mistimed that return of serve.
I think she might have been going for one of her
I think
cross
she
court
was,
links
yeah.
there.
Nice variation, bit of hold, and then the cross-court flick.
4-2.
Yeah, just enough hold there to draw Gohar into the forehand side.
Good little patch from Massaro here. Oh. Great shot.
Hand out, 3-4.
Egyptian camp appreciating that. She just dives on those loose balls around the front.
Slightly overcommitting there, Gohar.
Hand out, 5-3.
Yeah, this is better from Massaro. I feel like she's getting more time at the front because she's getting her targets a bit better into the back. And then she can use a bit of hold and variation when she's in front of Gohar.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 5-3. We still need you to clear, please, ladies.
Yeah,
We
Gohar
don't
needed
want to
to
see the
just...
conduct.
She actually stood on that
I
deliberately.
understand. I understand.
You see where the ball lands here.
5-3.
It either has to stay shorter or go longer, and then there's a line through for your opponent, but hitting it right back to her feet. Absolutely no way through. So it's Gohar really needing to clear that ball.
Decision, Massaro. No let.
Ball staying far
Hand
too
out.
short there for the let.
4-5.
Bounced twice before Massaro was anywhere near it.
Yeah, it's funny with Gohar, she does tend to cross-court a lot from her forehand, but then she has that straight forehand kill, which tends to take her opponents by surprise as well.
Out. Hand out. 6-4.
There's the Shabini siblings. Nour El Shabini already through to the semi-finals tomorrow after a very convincing performance earlier on today, winning 3-love in the quarters. It's good. She got that.
Not up. Not up. Not up.
I actually thought she may have got that one. Let's have a look.
7-4.
I wasn't sure. It certainly wasn't as obvious as some of the earlier ones. It was a very late call from the referees.
Did they call it down or did they give a stroke?
Eventually they called it not up.
Down.
Well, it's a rare unforced error
8-4.
from Gohar. Massaro got a really good lead here in this third game. I feel like she's certainly got a little bit of extra length, and it just gives her a little bit more breathing space, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been a better game for Laura.
Because it must feel so rushed on
And
there
out.
against a player like Gohar. You need to
5-8.
create time for yourself by getting that extra sort of half a metre of depth.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's quite hard. You feel like you want to take it in with like a soft, straight drop, but when the ball's bouncing, it's been coming back at you
Decision,
quite fast.
Massaro.
It's quite hard to suddenly take the pace out of the ball and just
No let.
put it in the front with touch.
There was a no let, Miss Gohar. There was a no let. She took the wrong line. Okay, okay.
I think Gohar trying to say that Laura pushed her a bit there, but she's just trying to show she can get to the ball. I don't think there's too much malice in that.
6-8.
So Massaro just needs to be careful here. She had a lead in the second game as well. Gohar will come back very hard, I think, in these next few rallies.
It's, Mrs. Gohar. I shouldn't be laughing. It is horrible watching a loved one play. But yeah, head in her hands. Stressful stuff for any family member. This would be a massive result for the Gohar camp.
And just the wrong choice from Massaro with the boast. She hasn't been doing that so far in this game.
7-8.
Yeah, there wasn't too much need for that one. It's just a little bit too high. I do think she needs to stretch her out, which I think she's trying to do a bit there, but just not quite accurate enough.
Nice little squeeze on the backhand wall.
Yeah, you can see the
And
fist
out,
pump there.
9-7.
That was an important point.
Not up.
Well taken there by Massaro. Took that ball
10-7.
very early.
Game ball.
And that gives her 3 game balls.
Down.
Ooh, slightly ambitious.
Hand out. 8-10. Game ball.
Well played.
Game to Massaro. Gohar leads 2-1.
Well finished off by Massaro, that 3rd game. So she pulls one back.
Omneya Abdelkawi as well there. She's been coaching all day. She's been playing, coaching Gawad earlier on in the men's quarterfinals.
So Laura Massaro managing to win that 3rd game, 11-8. Still trailing 1-2 against Nouran Gohar. Laura Massaro managing to pull 1 game back, but Nouran Gohar still leading 2-1 here in this 3rd women's quarterfinal.
Yeah, well, it's really getting juicy here.
15 seconds.
Tough one to call. Laura's done well there in that last game to claw 1 game back. I'm sure she's got every belief thinking she can still get a result in this match. But both players, just looking at them in between games there, both looking extremely focused, and the start of this next game is going to be very interesting. It's competitive out there, it's tense, there's some good squash, good clash of styles, I would say. Spot in the semi-finals, the first World Series event of this season is up for grabs here. 14 years in age difference actually between these 2 players, which is quite astounding when you think of it, but not a lot in between them in standards. So here we go, game on.
Well, as you mentioned, the start so important here, particularly for Massaro.
It's a great line, running through to the back.
Low.
Needs to be careful here. Massaro, she doesn't want Gohar to get off to a quick lead. It's good. It's like an axe chop, that forehand.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. Left side, to love.
Oh,
Decision,
that could be a
Gohar.
stroke. What do you think?
Yeah, she didn't mean that. She wanted to hit the ball in
Stroke to
straight.
Gohar.
Just catching the side wall.
Yeah, just a little bit
Right
too
box.
loose when she had the chance
3
there, Massaro.
love.
She'd got half a taxi in there, but just couldn't quite finish it off. Again, it's severe hitting from the 18-year-old. She comes down so steep on that ball, doesn't she?
She does, and it's obviously pace, but also the severity of the lines that she hits. She doesn't often catch side wall when she's going in straight. She gets a really good angle on her cross courts. Knows when she needs to get it really wide or cut it a bit more shallow down the middle. Just a really good understanding of the angles of the court.
I'm going to see a bit of a push here from Massaro, I think. Interesting choice of shot from Gohar. She's managed to win the rally.
And out, 5-1.
Well, things starting to run away from Massaro. She can't quite get a foothold in this game. Good squash.
Yeah.
Very accurate. Oh, dear me.
Love it. Love it. So good to see. Just no qualms
6-1.
here.
No
Smack,
hesitation, is there?
bang, wallop. It's another good shot.
Well, Lauren Gohar storming away
7-1.
in this fourth game.
That's a
Decision, Gohar.
No
very
chance.
ambitious ask.
No let. And out,
Bit of a cheeky ask.
2-7. Down,
Oh, just down, clipping the top of the tin.
3-7.
She needs to stay calm here, Gohar. This is kind of, in a weird way, familiar territory for Laura. It sounds strange being #2 in the world, but even the first round here, she was down, and she stays calm, and she's good at clawing her way back.
Yeah, she is. Just been given the thinnest of lifelines here.
Not up.
Again, that's one that I'd like to see Gohar starting to call herself.
4-7.
Yeah, but it's that stage where, as the lower seeded player, you kind of start getting a few butterflies or goose pimples, and I know you're not supposed to think about the finish line, but at 7-2 up
It's difficult not to.
against the world number 2, it's very hard to close
Decision,
those thoughts
Massaro.
out.
Stroke to Massaro.
Well, they're following up on
Ladies,
their
I
previous
did warn
ask.
you last game that you have to clear the ball, or there'll be consequences. 5-7.
Oh, it's a sticker. Stayed in. That's
a great shot.
Coming back. Yeah, great work down the backhand side.
Court service,
Gohar.
please.
It's a big point for Gohar to win because Massaro was coming back hard.
Yeah, she needed a point there. Again, it's that trademark backhand drive. More often than not, his second bounce dying in the back, running through.
Thank you. Hand out. 8-5. Not up.
That's it. Just thought that she backed off a couple of opportunities to put the drop in there, but she played it in the end, and she played it well.
There was a lovely finish by Massaro. Just rolling that forehand drop in.
Decision, Massaro. Stroke to Massaro.
Staying consistent, the referees. Great defending there by Massaro. She was in all sorts of trouble in that rally.
Yeah, it's only 1 point in it now. It's getting pretty tense out there. Gohar needs to be a bit careful. She's thrown a couple of random-ish boasts in, which haven't quite worked, and they're just putting her on the back foot at times a little bit.
8-all.
She needs to stick to those hard-hitting lines across the body of Massaro and straight down the walls.
Gutsy stuff, though, from Massaro. Wonder how the Gohar mum is feeling right now.
She's probably about to have kittens. At least she stays in the building, though. That's
What's
something.
your point?
That wasn't a... Oh.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 8-all.
You can hear the reaction from the Englishwoman. That familiar come on and fist pump.
9-8.
Well, you have to be impressed with this comeback. She was looking down and out in this game.
Yeah, I could kind of feel it at about 7-3. I just, obviously, knowing someone so well as well, and a win for Gohar's huge here, and that coupled with Laura's tenacity was always going to end up close.
Well, this is incredible stuff from Laura Massaro.
10-8.
She has two
Game
game
ball.
balls to draw level in this match.
Yeah, she stayed extremely solid and composed.
Brilliant
Game
stuff.
to Massaro. 2 games all.
So she does it again. England's Laura Massaro comes back from a big deficit in that 4th game. So Laura Massaro takes that 4th game, 11-8. And the score in this quarterfinal is 2-all. Well, we're going into a 5th game here in this quarterfinal. Laura Massaro winning that 4th to level things at 2-all.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably what the Hong Kong crowd wanted heading into a 5th game here. Thoroughly enjoying the squash and the battle between these two players. From the scoreline, you can see there really isn't a lot in it, just a couple of points at the moment. But what an effort from Massaro in that last game. I mean, she was, what, 7-2 or 3 down? And Gohar obviously seeing the finish line, very hard not to do that, but Massaro asking the question of Gohar and making her win it, not giving her any points, and little by little clawed her way back in a show of extreme resilience. So it really is game on for a place in the semi-finals of this year's
2 games all.
Hong Kong Open.
Massaro to serve. Level.
So Massaro kicks off the 5th game. You almost have to favour the Englishwoman now, even though it's been tight all the way through. But it's a big psychological blow when you've been, you know, had the finish in sight in a 4th game like that.
Yeah, I can't say I know it myself. I was only 10-5 up in the 4th game match ball of my match and lost. But apparently, yeah, it's quite hard to recover from. But I have more faith in Noran Gohar's mentality than my own. So I still feel that she can do this. But it's by no means going to be easy.
And out. 1-2.
Massaro did so well coming back in that last game.
But it just sends a message, doesn't it, to Gohar, you know, even if you get a lead again, I'm not going to go away. Makes it that much more difficult to win those last few points.
Stroke to Massaro, 2-all.
Yeah, you're right. And of course, there's there are those question marks of, oh, if only I finished it off in the fourth.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, right. 2-all.
It has been a tough one to call all match, and even before they stepped foot on court, I thought it was going to be a close one. Nice to hear the crowd applauding them as they came on for the fifth game. Obviously enjoying it.
Hand out, 3-2.
I think that's what Gohar needs to stick to. I think she should... she just threw 2 or 3 boasts in, which was a little bit different to what she has been doing that last game.
Not up.
Forget that. Stick with the boast.
If you can hit the
She's
boast
just
like
been
that every
finding her
time.
range, yeah.
4-2.
She's got it now. Keep playing it.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, right.
Yeah, there was a bit more space on that one.
4-2.
Yeah, I think that was the right decision. Laura was just panicking that they may give a stroke. Oh, she was there, giving Gohar a little glare, insinuating that she was maybe standing on the ball.
5-2.
But I'm not convinced. Oh, again.
Decision, Gohar.
Just keeps catching that side wall.
Stroke to Gohar.
Yeah, I
Ms.
mean,
Massaro,
it
your
has
shot
to be a
was too
stroke,
loose.
really.
I'm sorry. It was just a very loose shot.
She's just not quite got her range in a short game at the front, Laura. She's had a few chances there
6-2.
throughout this match, and she's just putting herself into trouble by missing her targets.
Well, she's going to have to fight back again if she wants to win this match.
It's better.
Hand out.
She's been all right from the middle of the court.
3-6.
It's more so right at the very front when she's had rally winning opportunities. Straight drop. Stroke.
Decision, Massaro. Stroke to Massaro. 4-6.
I think she just enjoys coming back from deficits in games.
Perhaps. Oh, that's tight. She needed that one.
Hand out. 7-4.
She's got it back. It's good survival from Laura Massaro. Nice.
Not up.
That's a great shot. Sensed that Gohar was hanging back ever so slightly.
Hand out. 5-7.
Put in
Yeah.
the surprise shot, drop shot from the back wall.
Caught her off guard. Oh dear.
Not getting the boast right that time in the floor.
No, that was a slightly
6-7.
worrying one for the Gohar camp. This is a tough ask for her to stay calm here and stay mentally strong. Laura being very patient, waiting for her opportunities. Not giving anything away.
Decision, Massaro.
Gohar not able to get out of the way in
Straight
time.
to Massaro.
So Massaro, she's drawn level once again.
Yeah, that was a great forehand
7-all.
boast. Ripped it in after a fairly long rally of a lot of stuff at the back, but that's an uncharacteristic error. Just what Gohar needed.
8-7.
She just forced it a bit, didn't she? She didn't really need to do that. She's not been doing that. Oh, it's dead.
Forehand boast not working that time. It was a little bit too high and Gohar was up on the court.
Mrs. Gohar on the verge of tears there.
9-7.
Well, after working so hard to get herself back to 7-all, Gohar's managed to open up another 2-point lead.
Yeah, that was
a blistering forehand.
Yeah, poor serve from Gohar.
And out, 8-9.
She was in trouble as soon as that came off the back wall. This is tense stuff. Oh,
No.
Decision, Gohar.
Don't think
Completely
so.
the wrong line there, going straight
No
into
edge.
Laura Massaro.
Well, you can hear the crowd. Things really at the business end now. 9-all in the
9-all.
5th game. She's clipped her.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, left. There was contact on the follow-through. Left box, please.
I don't think it really affected
9-all.
the shot necessarily, but obviously it put off Gohar, so she's entitled to the let.
Decision, Gohar. Yes, let. 9-all.
Oh, it was a
Decision, Massaro.
high drop, I think it was
No
meant to be
left.
from Massaro, and gave
Hand
Gohar
out.
the chance to execute that backhand drop.
10-9. Match ball.
Well, it gives Nora Gohar her first match ball.
She's got it back. Oh, there's a chance.
Laura Massaro hanging on for dear life there.
Well, we join in with the crowd and our oohs and ahs. All sorts of hand signals
out.
going on
10-all.
in the Egyptian corner.
A player
Went
must
for the
win
finish,
by
but clipped the
2
top
points.
of the tin. 2-all, 10-all. Sweat patches galore. It's tight. Chance. Oh.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let.
Good decision.
Right box.
I don't think anyone wanted the rally to finish with a stroke there.
10-all.
No, I
And I've
think
seen
you're
those
right.
given.
Yeah, I mean, she is entitled to wait, but I think there was still just a little bit of room.
Yeah, there's...
Not quite in her swing, is she?
I'd say a let, but yeah, very close.
Down.
Oh, dear me.
She's been let off the hook. The crowd
11,
That's just pressure.
10. Match ball.
Slight glass arm perhaps on the backhand drop there. I think half the crowd have been having kittens, not just Mrs. Gohar.
So Laura Massaro now has her own match ball. Wasn't going to miss it that time.
Tell you what, that is pretty good from an 18-year-old. Serious amounts of pressure on this backhand drop, having just fluffed one, and a beautifully executed counter drop, saving the match ball.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 11-all.
Slightly overexcited, Yala.
Court service, please.
Impressive court service as well. Very speedy.
Well, it's all about holding your nerve in these situations. So tense.
Yeah, I mean, the
They've both played really well, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, there's been nothing in it the entire match. So as the experience come into play here, it already has a bit in the fourth game.
Well, Massaro hasn't really been ahead until that one match ball for a couple of games, constantly having to fight her way back.
Yeah, it's certainly edgy stuff, but exciting stuff. Great to watch.
11-all. Decision, Gohar.
Far too late.
Yeah.
Be very
No
surprised
lets.
if she gets a let here, and she doesn't. Good decision there by the referees.
Yeah, again, I'm really not
Quickly,
enjoying
please,
the
very
backhand
quickly.
boast. I know she's hit one winner, but it just looks dangerous to me.
Thank you. Hand out. 12-11. Match ball.
So another match ball for Laura Massaro.
Down.
Oh, and she hits it in the tin. Wow.
Who wants to win
Hand
it?
out. 12-all.
That is Christmas time for Gohar.
Well, she took her space. She was entitled to do, and hit into the open space in the backcourt.
13-12.
So
Match ball.
another match ball for Noran Gohar.
Stay in your seat, Vanessa. thunderous hitting.
Decision, Massaro.
Again, a little bit overexcited.
Yes, let. 13-12.
Wasn't a winner.
Match ball.
Yeah, that was the correct decision.
Referees keeping their cool.
Yeah, at least somebody is. She's got it.
Decision, Massaro. Yes, let. 13-12.
Yeah, I think the
Match
refereeing's
ball.
been pretty good in this match so
Yeah,
far.
it has. It has.
Probably going to have a shocking decision now. I've just said that to finish the game off, finish the match. I take that back. I never said anything.
So 13-12 in this 5th game. Noran Gohar's match ball.
Oh, that's a good boast. That's
Decision, Gohar. Yes, let.
Ooh.
13-12. Match ball.
It was a close call, that, because she is taking slightly the wrong line. Ball
Yeah.
just not quite as tight as the previous one.
Yeah, I'm just, that backhand boast is not doing it for me. Boast. There's a chance.
No.
And she takes it.
14-12. Match to Gohar, 3 games to 2.
Finishing off the match with a beautiful backhand drop
11-8,
shot.
11-9, 8-11, 8-11.
Very happy
14,
mother there.
12.
It's lovely to see. What a win and what an effort.
It's an exciting
What a
women's
match.
quarterfinal. Please once
So
again
Noran
give a big
Gohar
hands to
taking
our
that
two
marathon in 5
players.
games, 11-8, 11-9, 8-11, 8-11, 14-12. What a performance from both players.
Noran Gohar, and congratulations to Ms. Gohar. The next match will start very soon, so please be seated.
Wow, well, what a result and what a performance from this exciting prospect. Almost not even a prospect anymore. She's certainly arrived on the world squash scene. The mental capacity and resolve of an 18-year-old to lose the 4th game as she did, with Massaro doing so well to equal it up, to take it into a 5th, and then you really thought Massaro, with all her experience, would be able to somehow sneak the win. Noran Gohar missing a couple of match balls, but unbelievable stuff to actually put that lovely counter drop in to give her a match ball and then take her spot. What a player and what a result, Noran Gohar into the semi-finals.